right, so we're gonna do a bench day and today's squats in ones. This was bench. This was 2 days ago. Yeah, let's call it 2 days ago. This is the last warm up here. So we did 331 plus the orange bands. Orange bands, not too much on the top on those. This was the top for that one. That's 175 kg, so like 386 plus the orange bands for one. Felt really good. That's definitely over 400 at the top, so we're feeling good about that. And then the back downs here, it's 315 pounds, and I was just doing sets of five. So 6 sets of 5, so 30 reps. Again, just spamming volume on bench is the goal right now. That's what me and coach have decided is going to be the plan until nationals here. Just a huge infusion of frequency and specificity with bench, which I thought with the specificity we do less bands, but bands showed right back up, which is good for me because overloading the top and the lockout, that's usually where I fail. I'm not failing off my chest very often. Still working this new setup where I set up back like that and then push in. It really helps me set my feet where I want them. Because it's hard a lot of times to pull your feet back with enough tension in the setup. I used to do it by getting my feet up on the bench, and then I'd like pull one foot down at a time and set them in really tight. That did work well too, but it's probably a lot more energy and a lot more effort than just planting the feet and then sliding my hips back so that the feet have tension. But yeah, this was good. I honestly, it's funny because I sent my last videos to my coach and I was like, oh yeah, I failed my last rep, which is this set right here. I actually blame Trinity. She was making me laugh right before I did this set, and I think I just miscounted, so I actually did get 5. But yes, this is good. So got all the volume on this day. It's nothing too heavy for me. 315 is pretty manageable. Definitely still struggling with lockout a little bit there, which is fine. Then I had some back down overhead press. This is 185 pounds. I actually did this set in my Hey Dudes, in my squishy shoes, and it was so unstable. It was terrible. So I did do a set after this. It was supposed to be a back down like 165. I ended up doing 185 again because I did like 15 reps once I took the Hey Dudes off. This is my favorite way to do face pulls. Face pulls lying down on a bench like this. Super, super easy to set up. I just feel the tension way better, and you're not using like your core or your body to like hold into position. So you can actually just, really concentrate on getting the upper back, the traps, the rear delts all engaged. And then I like to do it with a pause like that. And for whatever reason, I still talon grip it the way I do with squat. So only 3 fingers in around the rope. I don't know. Feels good to me. Really like how they are. Always doing face pulls with a lot of volume, and I have my clients do the same. So like 3 by 15 to 4 by 15, 4 sets of 15, just like tons of reps to develop that upper back. So this is from today. This is today's squat. I was a little nervous about this one because just the number sounds crazy. It was a set of 585 for 9, which sounded nuts to me, but at the same time, like, knee sleeves were fitting tight. Things felt good. I was warming up, and it's like everything felt like an empty bar. Also used the Buffalo bar instead of the Yukon bar. Very, very subtle difference. The Buffalo bar has just a little less curve to it, so it has a tendency to be easier to stay upright. I find it easier to get depth with. I probably could have found the Yukon bar and done that today, but I kind of wanted to do the Buffalo bar. And it ended up feeling really good. Maybe it was just a way of making sure that I felt good going into that 585 because I really just didn't want that to be a big struggle set. But I will say at this point, and I'm, however many days out, May 28th, I compete in USPA Ultranats out in Anaheim, California. I'm just tired, as preps go. And so, like, during this set, this is it. This is the 585 for 9. During the set, man, I was so smooth brained. I was just doing the reps. I mean, even before I did it, it was no hype. I sniffed some ammonia just to make sure I was awake enough. And I have people count for me because I know I'm going to lose count here. And I swear by like rep 5, I was unconscious. And it's not because the cardio was super hard. I mean, my heart rate was pretty high when I ended this set, but it's just something about that like deep tired, like my brain shut off. And then I got to like rep 8, and I must have looked like I was gonna put the bar back, and Trinity just goes, yeah, one more, one more. And I like swear to God, I came back to consciousness hearing that, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, one more rep feels good. I can do that. And it was fine. Like it wasn't the hardest set of my life. It was actually pretty easy. And then this is the back down set. This was 515 for 8. This felt super easy, like just nothing. Empty bar, knocked it out. Strength feels good, endurance feels good, work capacity is just better than ever. My CNS is probably cooked though. You know, I just hit a 730 on deadlift for one, and it wasn't too bad. It was probably the perfect weight. Super happy with how it felt. Very happy with that number in general, to be honest with you. I think when I did 520 and it was a big struggle, or I'm sorry, 720 and it was a big struggle, I didn't feel like that was the most impressive number, and like the lift was super hard, but like 730 at a much easier RP felt better. This was supposed to be 462 for two. Yeah, I wasn't feeling that. I was like, nope, CNS is cooked. We're not ready for that. So I dropped it down to 170 for six, which was about the plan back down. I think it actually said 177, and I made a little bit of an adjustment here. I don't deal in RPEs too often with my coach. Sometimes the lighter accessories say an RPE, but for the most part, like he'll just give me the prescribed weight, and most of the time I'll just do that. And then maybe there's a rep range in there. Like today, the squat said, do like 8 to 9. Like I'm gonna try to do 9 every time. But for the most part, I just try to attack whatever the weight that's given to me. But sometimes you got to make adjustments. So that was my auto regulation for this prep. Was like, yeah, wasn't feeling 462 for two on back extension. These rows are great though.